What happened with Xu Xin? Xu Xin was supposed to play at WTT Doha in March of 2021. However, he and the rest of the Chinese national team pulled out of all international events until the Tokyo Olympics because of fears of a pandemic. During this year, 2022, why did he not show up at all for the real ITTF competition? The rules have changed, and Xu Xin and Liu Shiwen's world rankings have dropped sharply. The world rankings for many players have changed a lot since the ITTF released the 18th week's rankings. For example, the ranking of Chinese Olympic champion and veteran table tennis player Xu Xin fell from 8th to 81st, which is a drop of 73 places. Liu Shiwen, an Olympic champion in table tennis for women from China, fell from 17th to 85th, a drop of 68 spots. Xu Yuling, who used to be world number 1, didn't even make it into the rankings. Week 17 also ranked 18th. She hasn't decided to give up work yet. When the ranking changes so much, it has a big effect on the players. Why do the rankings of players change so much? A lot of fans don't get it. First of all, these are the new rules for ranking that the ITTF came up with. Before, initial points were set up in 2020 to lessen the effect of the epidemic on the event. This is just a way to get by for now. This rule says that a set number of points are added to the total of the 8 stops' highest points. The starting value is 80% of the player's total number of points in December 2020. The ratio then slowly goes down, and by January 2022, it has gone down to 20%. The ITTF has now changed the rules and taken away the initial points. Under the new rules for world rankings, a player's world ranking will be based on the top 8 points he or she has earned in the past 12 months. With the help of the new world rankings, the ITTF and WTT World Table Tennis Federation Series winners and seeds will be decided. This year and last year, junior players played in more tournaments than senior players, so only 4 junior tournaments can count toward the senior rankings. By getting rid of initial points, players who have done well in recent games can move up in the rankings and play in higher-level tournaments. On the other hand, players who don't play as many games will have a lower world ranking and might not be able to play in some important games. Take Fan Jiandong as an example. From last year to this year, he won the men's singles title at the World Table Tennis Championships in Houston, 2,000 points, the WTT Singapore Grand Slam title, 2,000 points, the 2021 WTT Singapore World Cup title, 1,500 points, and the runner-up spot at the Tokyo Olympics, 1,400 points. He has 6,900 points, which makes him the best singles player in the world. For example, Xu Xin only played in the WTT Singapore Grand Slam this year. Last year, she played in the Olympics in Tokyo. Since he didn't play in the singles event at the Tokyo Olympics, he has no points. At the WTT Singapore Grand Slam, Xu Xin only played in the men's singles event. He only made it into the top 16 and earned 175 points. The world ranking went down a lot, and now it is only 81st. After the Tokyo Olympics, Ma Long didn't take part in any international competitions for a long time. He came in second place at the WTT Singapore Grand Slam and won a gold medal at the Tokyo Olympics, 2,000 points, 1,400 points. 2 events have earned 3,400 points and are tied for second place. In the last 2 years, Liang Jinquan took part in 6 events and finished third with 2,700 points. Hugo, a Brazilian player, often takes part. I got a lot of points, even though I didn't get very good grades. He is in 4th place in the men's singles with 2,570 points. Chen Meng won the gold medal at the Tokyo Olympics, 2,000 points, was the champion of the WTT Singapore Grand Slam, 2,000 points, made it to the semifinals of the World Table Tennis Championships in Houston, 700 points, and made it to the semifinals of the WTT Singapore World Cup, 525 points. 5,225 points altogether. Chen Meng is the best woman at table tennis in the world. Sun Yingsha won the WTT Singapore World Cup champion, 1,500 points, the runner-up of the Tokyo Olympics, 1,400 points, the runner-up of the World Table Tennis Championships in Houston, 1,400 points, and the WTT Singapore Grand Slam semifinals, 700 points, for a total of 5,000 points in women's volleyball table tennis. Second place in the world. Let's discuss Liu Shiwen. The same thing is happening to Liu Shiwen as it was to Xu Xin. She also only played in the singles match of the WTT Singapore Grand Slam. She only got into the top 16 and won 175 points. Even worse, the country is only ranked 85th in the world. The idea behind the new ITTF ranking rules is that players who have done well in recent competitions will be able to move up in the rankings and play in higher-level events. Those who play a lot are in the top 5, which is helpful for seeding in the future. This hurts those who don't play as many games. Xu Xin and Shiwen entered fewer competitions, so their world ranking went down sharply. They may not be able to enter some important competitions anymore. There are only 64, 32, or fewer singles players in some games. Both Xu Xin and Shiwen were not able to take part. There are more singles players in some events, but if they want to play, they have to start from the qualifying rounds. These two Olympic winners have no shame at all. With the new world rankings, these young players have a better chance of competing and going straight to the main draw. This will speed up the growth of young players, make it more likely for them to take part in big competitions, and make it more likely that they will get a good place. At the same time, veterans like Xu Xin and Shiwen won't be able to play as much if they don't do well in future competitions. If they don't do well, their chances of playing will go down, and they'll slowly stop playing table tennis. The same goes for people who have served in foreign associations. If they don't enter more competitions, they will have fewer and fewer chances to do so in the future.